Hi nerds! So it's the end of the first official day of the APRA International Conference. As I promised, wearing the t-shirt. So the first session that I went to today was by two researchers from Lafayette College about parents' research and fundraising in higher ed. And this was definitely a topic that hit very close to my heart. It's always interesting because you have this really short window of time to identify and engage and solicit and close a gift. You have 4 years, less if their child is particularly ambitious. And so it to some extent, the need to be proactive is just so much more than some of the other types of giving constituencies. And the other session that I went to was called "So You Want to Be a Supervisor, Now What?" And it was led by Kristen Richardson from the University of South Carolina. So for the record, I'm not a supervisor, and part of the reason why I went to that session is not actually because I really want to be a supervisor, but because the idea terrifies me. So I was like, okay, well, let's go explore that. Let's go explore the fact that you're a little freaked out by this. So one of the awesome things that happened today was the keynote by Dan Pallotta, who's the author of Uncharitable. The term overhead has become this sort of dirty word. And that was the thing I really liked about Dan Pallotta's presentation, was because he was sort of refuting that, no, it's not a dirty word. Overhead is important. It's an investment. By focusing on charities that have the lowest overhead possible, you're only really focusing on charities that are sort of stiffing the long term in favor of the short term. That, I think, was the thing today that sparked the most conversation, was sort of the rallying cry of, "I am overhead." I want that on a shirt. And tonight for dinner, we went to the Royal House, which is an oyster bar in the French Quarter, and I am now the most stuffed. I thought we were done. I couldn't eat any more fries. I had eaten all of the oysters, and then there was something about a bananas Foster cheesecake thing, and everything kind of went a bit blurry after that. And when I came to, I had eaten half of it, and 3 days had passed. And so this morning, APRA Illinois had their chapter outing. Very often at APRA International conferences, the chapters are very often sort of competing for the same kind of happy hour slots. And while that's nice and all, it also means that it's hard to get more, it's hard to get people kind of encouraged and engaged in coming, because they're like, oh geez, another happy hour, or these other 3 chapters are having, their happy hour or their dinner or their, salsa dancing class, in this particular time slot, and I can only go to one. So what somebody brilliant in APRA Illinois, who was not me, had an idea of, okay, well, we've been doing all of these, happy hour things at night. We've got time before the keynote. Let's have a breakfast outing. We'll have people meet, we'll go to breakfast together, and then we'll go back for the keynote. And it ended up being really good. We had a really good turnout, not just people who were current members of APRA Illinois, but also people who had previously lived in the region and had been involved and gone elsewhere. It was great. I love you, APRA Illinois. Today, so tomorrow is my presentation, and while I want to encourage all of you who are currently in New Orleans at the conference to come to my session, there are also a lot of really good other sessions that are also going on at the same time. So just assume that I raved about how awesome my session was right here. And let me highlight another 2 that are going on during this slot. So Lisa Schoenberger from Loyola University is doing a presentation on corporate and foundation fundraising, and I saw her give a presentation on it. I think it was either last year or the year before, and it's really good, and she totally knows her stuff. So would highly recommend that one. Also, my colleague Amelia Aldred, who has previously appeared in these videos in years past, she is co-presenting on international research with kind of her counterpart at Northwestern University, John Connolly. And I saw them rehearsing their session, and it's really good, and there's so much good information, you guys. So if you're on the fence about what sessions to go to, like, you have some really great options. So like that like 1 o'clock slot tomorrow. So to everyone who's presenting, good luck, break a leg, break some conceptions, yeah. And to those of you not in New Orleans, I'll see you right here. I'll probably have some recapping things for the sessions that I did see. And also follow the APRA Twitter hashtag. It's APRA PD2015. And people have been live tweeting from the sessions and things like that, and it's been it's sort of a fun little community of people who are super excited and also tend to go to very different sessions, so you get a lot of sort of like, you know, varied information from what's going on. So also highly recommended. So I'm exhausted, and now I need to go sleep off half of a Bananas Foster dessert monstrosity. So good night, nerds!